Coming up on News Live at 6, SU is making progress towards new dorms on campus. Find out when the skyline will change.
Plus, is snow back in Syracuse? What weather we can expect over the rest of the week.
And a U.S. intelligence group chat was leaked. What those messages said and how it happened. News Live at 6 starts right now.
CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome into News Live at 6 on this Tuesday. I'm Ronnie Parrillo.
And I'm Ilana Epstein. Friends and family gathering in Rochester today to honor the life of Geraldith Schutte, one of the victims of the double homicide that happened just over a week ago in Syracuse.
Schutte and 11-year-old Jeremiah Huff were shot and killed in their home on Ronnie Road. The suspect, David Huff, is facing murder charges in connection to their deaths. He had a romantic relationship with Schutte and was Jeremiah's father.
Schutte's funeral was held earlier today. Her obituary describes her as a, quote, devoted mother, beloved daughter, caring sister, and a compassionate social worker who dedicated her life to helping others. Jeremiah's funeral was held yesterday in Liverpool.
The New York State Attorney General's office today identifying the man who was shot and killed by an Oswego County sheriff last week. Police say they were conducting a welfare check on Cook Road when Miles Dignan swung at them with a metal object, striking a state trooper in the head. Now, according to the Attorney General's office, an Oswego County Sheriff's deputy then shot Dignan. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Just after his death, a sign appeared near the location of the incident saying, quote, "The cops just killed my son." CitrusTV will continue to cover this story as more information becomes available.
An upstate New York cop is being accused of having and sharing child pornography. Steuben County Sheriff's Deputy Stuart McHenry allegedly used the messaging app Kik to send and receive child pornography. New York State Police then searched McHenry's home and found, quote, sexually explicit material of children on 2 of his phones. McHenry is now in custody. The Steuben County Sheriff's Office hasn't said anything yet about McHenry's employment status.
The Supreme Court will not rehear the 1964 case New York Times versus Sullivan. Now, this case ruled that public figures suing the media must show proof that the published statement had the intent of harming them. New York State native and billionaire casino mogul Steve Wynn challenged the ruling because the Associated Press published a story about his sexual misconduct allegations back in the 1970s. Wynn denies these allegations and says that the standards set by the ruling are, quote, unfit for the modern era. The Supreme Court has not commented yet on their decision.
Well, Ronnie, Olivia mentioned it earlier in the show. There is snow on the ground. It was snowing today after we saw 70-degree temperatures last week.
You know, I say it every week. This is Central New York.
It's what we signed up for.
We could have been relaxing on the beach last week around that time. And today, you know, it's back in the parkas. But Liv Rodriguez, the trooper that she is, back outside to tell us if these cold temperatures are going to stick around. Hey, Liv.
Hey there, Ronnie. Now, I know you guys were just talking about the beach. Syracuse right now is looking like anything but. If you're like me and you were expecting some of these warm weathers that we were experiencing last week, unfortunately, that is not the case. Right now, we are looking at 40 degrees outside of your window right now, but because of the winds at about 14 miles per hour, it's going to feel a lot colder. We're seeing these cloudy skies out here right now, and that's going to be a trend that we're going to see continuing throughout the rest of the week. Tonight, we're going to see a little bit more of the same, dropping down to about 38 degrees with a little bit of an 8-mile-per-hour wind. So luckily, that wind's going to slow down a little bit. It's going to be a little bit nicer for us, but still the sky is not going to clear up. We are looking at pretty cloudy skies for the rest of today and tonight. But I will have more on what you can experience outside for the rest of this week when I'm back in the studio. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. Well, cloudy skies, colder temperatures. I'm wondering how traffic is looking out there on I-81, if there are going to be more cars out on the street. What do you know?
You know, things look pretty clear right now. Downtown Syracuse, taking a look at your evening commute. The bulk of that mainly over. You can see I-81. Nice view of downtown right now. Things moving pretty smoothly. 690 is where the problems are tonight, so there's a little bit of traffic near that Teal Avenue exit because crews are doing road work over there, but things are continuing to clear up. We're in the 6 o'clock hour now, so nothing too bad in terms of traffic. Of course, you're going to want to watch out as you head north of the city towards the North Syracuse interchange with Route 11 and I-81. There's ongoing construction there, so just take it slow. Other than that, things looking pretty good on this evening commute. You want to crank the heat up in the car though tonight.
Perfect night
no
to go
Luke
for
Combs like we said last
no
week.
Luke Combs,
I don't think that can happen.
But it's a
Sorry,
perfect
guys.
night to go for a nice drive if there aren't too many cars
It
out
really
there
is.
right
I
now.
love that. That's my free therapy.
Exactly.
You know, it just costs the gas money, but
yes,
that's all right.
but it's worth it.
Exactly.
It's definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
Well, Syracuse University submitted new dorm plans to the city of Syracuse last night. Our reporter, Tegan Brostrom, is in front of one of the proposed sites to tell us more about the plans to add more student housing. Tegan, good evening.
Good evening, Ronnie and Ilana. Syracuse officials and architects met and proposed plans for the new dorms at the City Planning Commission meeting last night. The plans show proposed locations at the Waverly location right behind me and the Comstock Garage right here up the hill. These plans are all part of Syracuse University's goal to increase student housing on main campus. New Comstock and Waverly dorm plans submitted to the city of Syracuse echo the university's goals for the project.
We need a replacement for the Kimmel Dining Hall and allow for relocation of a significant portion of our sophomore class from South Campus to main campus.
If approved, the Waverly dorm will have 725 beds and 580 beds in the Comstock dorm. These two dorms alone would hold roughly more than 1/4 of the current freshman class. An architect on the project says the dorms will be more than just a living space.
Units are accessory spaces and uses such as dining hall and food services, multi-purpose rooms, teaching kitchens, and common social areas.
The plans were presented as students are applying for on-campus housing for the following year. One freshman says it'll be beneficial to have more options for housing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good move, especially seeing how stressed people have been with housing, like not just me, but all my friends, and people just really don't want to be so far away, and so I think the more dorms, the better, to help move people closer to campus is definitely a good decision.
If approved, the plans will be the first new dorms built on SU's campus since Ernie Davis Hall, which was built in 2009. For CitrusTV News, I'm Tegan Brostrom.
Tegan, thanks so much. A vacant building on the north side of Syracuse sending plumes of smoke into the sky Friday night, burning for over 24 hours. Our reporter Vanessa Shimoni has more details on the ongoing investigation tonight.
First a convent for the Sisters of St. Francis, then a junior college for women for over 25 years. The Maria Regina College on the north side of the city went up in flames this Friday, but Mayor Ben Walsh says the reaction spoke for itself.
So while this fire represents a sad chapter in the history of the north side, the response to this fire represents the very best in city government.
1024 Court Street has been uninhabited for 11 years, but that doesn't mean it lacks value to local Syracuse residents. For some, it was a religious community, an education site, for some, their workplace. Deputy Mayor Sharon Owens says how the City Council is focused on improving the lives of residents.
We are still going to be moving forward on this project and the commitment we have to this community.
Councilmember Marty Nave says the 26-hour burn was so severe it forced individuals out of their homes.
One resident behind you told me on Saturday him and his wife had to move to a hotel. The soot was just unbearable. And it affected many of these residents. These are older residents. And this has to be acknowledged.
Mayor Walsh shares how the rebuilding of the property now gives them the opportunity to accommodate for the lack of local housing.
The longer it stays vacant, the more risk there is for other issues. And to keep it in a position where it can be put back into productive use and give quality, affordable senior housing to this neighborhood who certainly deserves it.
Now, the mayor says that the cause of the basement fire is still unclear, and anyone caught trespassing on the property will face charges. The property is not safe for human exposure. For CitrusTV News, I'm Vanessa Shimoni. Ronnie and Ilana, back to you.
Vanessa, thank you. The Central New York Regional Market has long been a staple of our region, but the space has started to get outdated. Our Roman Verna tells us about the newest investment in the market and why some say more could be done.
These unassuming brick garages that line the interstate are home to the CNY Regional Market, a space for farmers, restaurateurs, and vendors to sell their goods. And now the market is getting new funding as Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon announced $4 million towards the space. Rebecca Porter has been a vendor at the market for over 40 years as part of her family's business. She says the money should be used for a variety of purposes.
Definitely just some of the buildings, they need to update it, repairing, and just things fixed up in that way, and maybe some new type of events, but also definitely the parking lot.
But this funding isn't just to help vendors. The market acts as an important community space, fostering connections between all in CNY. However, SU alum, city planner, and author of Walkable City, Jeff Speck, says that more could be done to help the area reach its full potential.
You know, we have a housing crisis everywhere, including in Syracuse. The idea of building a neighborhood that included that market and a whole bunch of residential. It's a natural place where people would want to live with the market there because it provides an anchor that they can fulfill many of their daily needs on foot. I feel like $4 million is a good amount to purchase and renovate a building. The idea of starting from scratch and building something new is going to add to the cost, and I would think it would be a much easier success if it were in a place that was adjacent to more humans.
In Syracuse, Roman Verna, CitrusTV News.
Straight ahead on News Live at 6, confusion in the Senate Intelligence Committee hearing. If the contents of a leaked intelligence group chat were classified or not.
Plus, Trump is trying to dismantle the Department of Education. We break down how his actions will affect local schools. Stay with us.
Watching CitrusTV News live at 6 with Ronnie Parrillo, Ilana Epstein, and Olivia Rodriguez. And now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back into News Live at 6, taking you to Capitol Hill now. The White House reporting today that Russia and Ukraine have agreed to a ceasefire in the Black Sea. The deal also puts a ban on energy facility attacks. The announcement comes after American officials met separately with both delegations in Saudi Arabia.
But both Russian and Ukrainian officials are skeptical of the deal. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says it can only be guaranteed if the White House orders Zelensky to sign the deal. Zelensky says he has questions about how the deal will be implemented.
The Senate Intelligence Committee holding their annual Worldwide Threat Assessment hearing today, but it comes just a day after editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg, claims he was included in a group chat with top national security officials. The chat, held in secure messaging app Signal, contained plans for military strikes in Yemen. Those strikes landed just over a week ago and killed 2 people. Now, it wasn't clear if the information was classified, but CIA Director John Ratcliffe confirmed today it was not.
The White House also holding that there was no classified information. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt took to Twitter this morning, pushing back at the Atlantic article, saying, quote, Jeffrey Goldberg is well known for his sensationalist spin. She also noted that the White House is, quote, looking into how Goldberg's number was inadvertently added to the thread.
President Donald Trump last week signing an executive order aimed at reshaping the Department of Education.
The Department of Education handles federal student loans, funding for K-12 schools, and civil rights in the classroom. Our CitrusTV reporter Alexa Corey is here in studio to tell us more about how the implementation might affect local schools and the nation. Alexa?
Thanks, Ronnie and Ilana. Major changes are underway for the U.S. Department of Education. After long talks, President Donald Trump ultimately put pen to paper, dismantling the department. While the order sets in motion plans for a smaller federal role in education, it leaves many questions about how this will affect teachers, students, and other essential services here in Central New York. Trump's executive order aims to shift control over education to states and local communities. A superintendent here in Syracuse, Stephen Dunham, talks about the possible effects this order has on immigrant students.
It could potentially be like the resegregation around education. And so depending on the state, if you're an immigrant, if you're a student that doesn't speak English, if you're a student with disability, you may not have your needs met to the same level as maybe the state next door. You may have families moving and scrambling to go to places that they feel their needs are better met.
Student loans are another major concern, especially for those in college. The federal loan system impacts millions of borrowers who could face disruptions as the department shrinks. A local teacher, David Ramey, weighs in on how he thinks the administration will affect student loans and colleges.
There's certainly a potential downside that students would be having a hard time getting those loans, but then that might also have the benefit of actually causing colleges to reduce their prices to meet what students are able to pay. So colleges would, I think, be more impacted than the actual students.
While Trump's orders does not immediately close the department, many education advocates are worried about the impact on special education funding, student loan programs, and civil rights in schools. As this process unfolds, the future of federal support remains unknown.
Live at 6, what weather we can expect over the rest of this week. Stay with us.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
from the CitrusTV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. Now, looking ahead at your weather this week, unfortunately, like I was saying, there is going to be a little bit of snow expected tomorrow. We are looking at a high of 42 degrees, which wouldn't be too bad normally, but yes, we are looking at possible PM snow showers. So that is something to look out for. Try to stay off the roads. It is not going to be fun. We are looking at some classic Syracuse winter weather, but luckily for the rest of this week, we are seeing a steady increase in the temperatures. We are seeing a high of 50 on Thursday and high of 53 on Friday. It's going to be really nice, although we are going to see a little bit of clouds in the sky. We are going to see some sun, which is going to be great news for us. However, we are going to see rain on both Saturday and Sunday this weekend, but we are going to have a high of 55, which is super fun and amazing. That is the kind of spring weather I like to see. And speaking of spring, me, Ronnie, and Ilana came up with an awesome list of our favorite spring essentials from movies to music. We have some absolute classics, like some of my favorites, Pride and Prejudice, Notting Hill, Sound of Music, some of the best spring movies in my opinion. We also have La La Land, which was our amazing Ilana's pick, and Tangled, Jackson Breslin's pick. And we also have some amazing music up here. Me and Ilana are big Fleetwood Mac fans. Looking up here at Sarah, Go Your Own Way, just my favorite spring music. We also have some classic Ronnie, Parrillo, Luke Combs up here, and Tim McGraw. One thing about Ronnie is that he loves his country, so we got to include it on some of the amazing spring music that you can be listening to when the weather warms up on the nice sunny days we're going to see on Wednesday and Thursday. But that's all I've got for you. What's coming up next, guys?
Strong pick with the Cranberries, by the way. No love there. When we come back, we'll recap the first weekend of Women's March Madness, plus a pair of late regular season games for the Islanders and Nets. Don't go anywhere.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
The Titans of women's college basketball have battled their way through the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Welcome to sports, I'm Alex Remoll. Last night, the round of 32 wrapped up, and most of the games lacked drama. Every higher seed won their matchup by double digits, except for Maryland. The 4 seed needed a pair of overtime to take down 5 seed Alabama by 3 points. USC got destroyed Mississippi State, but lost star guard Juju Watkins for the season to a torn ACL. UConn handled South Dakota State in All-American Paige Becker's final home game for the Huskies. And everybody loves upsets, but so many favorites moving on creates some marquee matchups in the Sweet 16. Duke versus North Carolina should jump right out at you. It's always a joy to see rivals face off in the tourney. Similarly to that, Texas and Tennessee is a high-powered SEC tilt. This round tips off on Friday. And the Stanley Cup playoffs are here, about a month away. so every game is a big one for contending NHL teams. The Islanders and the Blue Jackets are both in the thick of the Eastern Conference wildcard race and took to the ice last night for two big pivotal points. Starting out positive for the Islanders, Kyle Palmieri with a big goal to make it 2-0 towards the end of the first period, but it kind of started to slip away for the Islanders. Boone Jenner, shorthanded goal right there to make it 2-2 at the end of the second period. Now it's 3-3 late in the third period, and the Islanders think they have a winner. Alexander Romanov with a snipe from way out, but the refs are waving it off. You can see him right there. It's going to be a high stick call on Kyle Palmieri right in front of the goalie there, which disallows it, leads to overtime in a shootout where Adam Fantilli of Columbus scores the only goal of the round. Bo Horvat skies one over Elvis Merzlikins to seal the loss for the Islanders 4-3 on Long Island in favor of the Blue Jackets. Like the Islanders, the Nets are in a race. Unlike the Islanders, the Nets are in a race to the bottom. The struggling squad squared off with the Mavericks last night and didn't exactly turn the season around. The home crowd didn't help Brooklyn much at all. Dallas won by nearly 20 and had scoring from all over the roster with 7 players in double digits. Forward Najee Marshall's 22 points led the way. The Nets are now 2-8 in their last 10 contests with 4 consecutive losses. Earlier this afternoon, Syracuse men's basketball announced on social media that guard J.J. Starling and forward Donnie Freeman are staying with the Orange for the next season. The pair were SU's 2 leading scorers this past year. This follows news from this morning that guard Chance Westry intends to enter the transfer portal.
Well, Alex, thank you so much. So happy that JJ and Donnie are staying with Syracuse.
It's huge.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. When we come back, one last look at what you can put on when you walk out the door tomorrow. Stay with us.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back into your wake up weather. Now looking ahead, tomorrow is going to be the coldest day for the rest of this week. So it is important to remember to wear your jacket because we are expecting a little bit of light snow. Going to wake up at about 38 degrees. We're going to peak in the afternoon at 42 degrees and then we're going to end at about 27 degrees at night. So it is going to be pretty cold, but for the most part, that is going to be the coldest it'll be all week. We're going to expect some warmer spring weathers over the rest.
Well, I do feel like we are seeing that, colder temperature because it is March, but you know what else is in March? It's college acceptance season, and Syracuse is no exception. As you see now, some of the class of 2029 has received their acceptances. Guys, this is so exciting. This is always such a fun time of year, especially when we were in high school. I mean, it was an amazing time.
First of all, I remember it, and I know you, Ilana, Alex, Liv, you're not there yet. Cherish every moment.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I remember like it was yesterday. I mean, look at those pictures right there.
This was like the week after I found out I got accepted. I quickly came up for a visit, was wearing my mask.
Yeah.
But it was so long ago, and look at me.
Crazy. It goes by so fast.
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Right in front of the whole languages there.
Oh my gosh. That's me and my parents. Lord, oh my gosh, my hair was so short.
And this is
Look
from,
at this
This
guy.
is from a long time
Look
ago.
at this guy.
This is from, I toured after my freshman year in high school, so
Okay.
it's
Oh my God.
been a minute.
He wasn't even driving
yeah.
yet.
No, no.
And he
still
knew
had
where he wanted
braces
to go
on
to
it.
college.
Oh, I knew exactly where. I did.
And it was here?
Oh, yes,
Right.
it
Yes,
was.
exactly.
Well, you've got the
Look
Central
at
New
us.
York connections.
I do, I do.
Yeah.
No, we came and visited, and we fell in love with the school, and now us three have, 5 weeks left, so it's pretty crazy.
What's funny was I was committed to a different school, and then I toured
and then you
Syracuse.
switched, and then you made you fall in love. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, that's CitrusTV Live at 6 for this Tuesday.
Good luck to the class of 2029. We'll see you next week. I'm Ronnie Parrillo.
And I'm Ilana Epstein.
Have a great night.